Okay, the hour is upon us, so I'd like to call to order the property committee meeting for July 14th, 2025. Be roll call.
Robert Becker.
Anderson here.
Lyon here.
Becker here, all present and accounted for. Certification of open meeting law requirements. Mary said yes, and she don't lie. All right, we got a 13-item agenda. Motion by Doc to approve.
Second.
Second by Rich. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carried. Okay, we've got number 5 is an adopt the minutes from the previous meetings. Any corrections, additions? If not, a motion for approval is in order. Motion by by Dick.
Second.
Second by Rich. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carried. Okay, number 6 is a 15-minute public comment period. Members of the public will have 15 minutes to block of time to comment on today's agenda items. Members may be present in person or call in and make such comments. To comment by phone, please call 715-538-1894. Public comment may be extended or curtailed at the discretion of the committee board chair and after advisement by the committee board. All right, we're opening it up now for 15 minutes. Next one, we'll go on to 7. We have Samuel's group. Kurt, update on how's things going?
Morning, everyone. Good to see you. Things are going well. The project is still on track for completion of September 24th for that phase 1. And if you recall, we've got that phase 1 broken down into a couple smaller phases. The phase that's in IT, Tim's area, we are waiting for VAV box to get in there so that we can complete it. Everything else is kind of wrapped up. So that one was supposed to be actually done last Friday. So it's probably going to be a little extension on time there, but been working with Tim so he understands what's happening on that piece. The balance of that second floor, we did have a delay on door frame delivery and then also some fire dampers. We had to switch some fire dampers out, but we're still on overall track for that third week in September to be done. Change order wise with the contingency, we have run into some lintels that are going to have to be replaced, some fire caulking that's going to have to get done. We don't have those numbers finalized yet. I think to date, out of your $250,000 contingency, about $1,200 has been used that Jeremy has been reviewing. There was some roller shades that were added. I think we moved a door. So it's nickels and dimes right now, but there are some other prices that are coming up.
Can we keep it like that?
Yeah. I got to say that Jeremy and Tim and Tad from our group have come up with cost-effective solutions, and they'll continue to come up with those options as the unknown starts to hit us. But things are doing well, and we're moving along in the fashion that we should be. So,
Kurt, do we have more of that asbestos? Was that more in the second floor or the first floor, or was it pretty much the same?
yeah, I think we've got the lion's share of it done, but we won't know until we open up the rest of the spaces. So I believe there will be some downstairs, but I think the majority of it has been taken care of. And we're still under our allowance for the asbestos right now. So things are tracking well on that, but we won't know until we hit the balance of when we open up the spaces. So what we may uncover.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Kurt? Well, that's good. Everybody must know I have to go golfing.
Yep.
All right. Next up, IT department, Tim Robertson. Tim.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Tim.
Yeah, IT, we were planning on starting to move back in on Friday, but there's some cleaning to do. We're gonna have some epoxy put on the floor for the new data closet, and some cleaning, I think has to be a little more thorough before we move in. But so sometime this week, we'll be moving in our space, and then I think, question for you, are there any phases where we're gonna be moving people soon?
I know just north of you, the phase just north of you, they're targeting that by the end of the month, but they were waiting on the HVAC component, so that would be the only area. The rest of that we wouldn't be moving until September.
Are we second floor?
Yeah,
So health.
correct. Mm-hmm.
What about administration? When are they due to move?
I don't know the time on that. That would be after the September date, so.
Okay, we would just ask for some, any updates on the timeline that we have
For
already
moving people.
distributed.
Okay.
Because getting the switch components in place to make sure we have enough connections wherever we move people.
Okay, I'll make sure Tad works that out with you and Jeremy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the process is working really well. I'm enjoying this much more than the Justice Center project. I guess knowing a little more about how this all works has been very helpful. Starting the budget process, going through, and I'm probably going to have to bring some things to you next month because it's looking very, very bleak as far as my budget. There's a lot of new expenses that'll be joining the party in 2026. So I'm looking at the different components that we have throughout our entire portfolio, trying to figure out what can we live without. And so the staff and I are going through that right now, comparing the different tools we have for security and productivity and whatnot. Nothing to report regarding my team. A lot of vacations right now. We're all trying to get some time off, so pretty calm. Haven't been too overwhelmed. Printing continues to be a positive story. Our numbers just keep dropping. So I'm very happy with the recent contract we signed last year. We keep seeing less and less printing, especially on the color. There's a few exceptions, but I won't mention any names there. And then, what was the other thing we had? Monday mornings are rough for me, I'm sorry. If I think of it, I'll mention. Any questions? What's going on?
Where are you at with the dispatch center?
We have a Tuesday meeting every week where a team of 9 to 14 middle managers from AT&T and Motorola and various other companies they've hired talk to us about the process, and nobody ever gives us a date. They have got to be out of there by September, as far as I'm concerned. So we just keep bringing that up. Wayne has been pressing to get an actual date, but they have these rules in place where you have to have certain equipment on site in order to execute the start of the process. So it's really an unknown at this point.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't have a date, but Wayne made it sound positive the last time I spoke with him.
Yeah, I was hoping for August, and I think September is now, we're confident
I
that's going
think
to be
they
where
said
it's at.
September originally, when we were going through the grant with them.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't part of that meeting. Okay, yeah. Any further questions? All right, thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Tim, appreciate that. Okay. Next up, we have Maintenance Department, and Jeremy, I think he's still on vacation. And Tim, did you have anything, did Jeremy tell you anything special? Or Kurt, did you guys have anything or nothing?
The only thing is I can speak to your action about the pump, so I did work with the sheriff and Jeremy on that, but that's the only thing I know. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's coming up here pretty. Might as well just go right into it. We'll see Jeremy next month. And then number 10 is discussion action resolution, authorized addition of 19 bunk beds to the county jail. Everybody got the resolution here. $9,500 is what Brett presented this to exec finance. And I think he went outside and found somebody other than you guys to come in and do this, because we already had the steel or the anchors into the wall were put in there when they built the jail. This is to go in and actually get 19 more stainless steel bunks and weld them in and get them in place, because Brett was thinking that maybe Buffalo County is gonna maybe close down their jail and send their prisoners here. And it's gonna cost, I think, buku bucks with you guys, with,
Well, we gave them, it was two vendors, it wasn't us. I got a price from Stronghold, which
Yeah.
was the original detention equipment, and then I got one from Wisconsin Detention. Stronghold was $53,000, and Wisconsin Detention, I believe, was around 25 in regards to that, but it was 22 bunks that I thought they quoted, and not 19, so.
it was, Brett did bring that up. It was, he had 20, I thought, and then he brought it back to 19 because I cannot
He
read.
said those had already been installed.
Yeah, one was, we put more in, at the end of the project.
One played
Yeah, that was it. It didn't happen. So he brought it down to 19, and Brett had enough initiative, which I give him credit for, and I thank him for it, that he took a bunk up to stainless and pigeon, and they said they can make them and put them in for $9,500. So it's a great savings for the county. So, yeah, and it keeps the money in the area. That's good. Good point. So, we have a resolution to approve it. The money, he wants to take the 9,500 out of general fund. We had discussion on it, and discussion was, well, why doesn't he just take it out of the money they get from the inmates coming in? And when they pay, he gets $45 a day, Rich, you can correct me on this, $45 a day for inmates now coming in from out of county?
One of the counties is 45, the other one is 50.
Okay. And he had budgeted $250,000 in his budget for income. And anything at the end of the year that he takes in more than what his costs are, goes back into general fund. So if we take the 95 out of the general fund, he indirectly does put it back at the end of the year.
If there's anything there.
If there's anything there. If, what he has now and what he has averaged, we contact him. Right now, he's right on track for covering what his budget was. But if we get any more than, he's at what, 15? If he gets over 15 to 20, because he says sometime of the year he was at 20, that puts him above it, and it wouldn't take long at $50 a day to recoup that $10,000. So that would, and if he gets Buffalo County, it was by far, it's gonna put him up there, so, and this is a very reasonable, for $19 stainless steel installed for $9,500 is a pretty good price.
I think he assured the county, exec finance committee that the additional inmates, I'm sorry. He seemed to assure the exec finance committee that they would be able to provide adequate supervision with the existing staff without additional staff, and I guess my concern is that if we do take people from out of county, if there is additional expense in terms of more staff, we know there will be food and whatever else that goes along with it. But if there's additional staff, that counts up very quickly. And that the rate by which we contract with other counties has to cover that new expense.
Yes.
And I hope that they watch that very carefully.
Yeah, and remember that that's the reason they built the style of jail that they did, is that if they do fill it up, they still don't have to get any more staff because it
Well-
was set up to be able to monitor
Yeah.
everyone at that level at, was it 670 beds or whatever, with the staff they have, because that was, I know, but that was a big question when they built it, because they didn't want to have to get any more staff on hand. And that was why the design was chosen that way, but we can always hope.
Yeah. Well, and I guess if indeed it requires more staff, then there has to be some renegotiation in time in terms of the daily rate that
Yeah.
other counties are paying into the system.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us oppose having more inmates housed here as long as the expenses are recovered.
And I think Brett said he was gonna take everybody up to $50. for the-
Yeah, I think they said,
If he
yeah.
gets Buffalo County,
Yeah.
so that would help. So, yeah, good point. Okay, any other discussion on,
I'll make a motion to take the money out of general fund for the
Motion by-
beds.
motion by Doc to approve the resolution, taking $9,500 out of general fund for the installation of more beds into the jail. Seconded by Renee. Roll vote, it's money.
Is there more discussion on that?
Sure, we can.
I just want to bring up that I had a thought of taking it out of jail assessment. And so I checked with the county clerk's office, and there was like $134,000 sitting in there. So I'm like, okay, that's what it can be used for, so let's take that money out of there instead of general fund. So anyway, then I followed up and I talked to the current sheriff, Brett, and Brett says that number is not necessarily accurate because the 2024 to 25, what do I want to say?
Audit?
Audit, yeah. And the numbers haven't came across. So he said, basically, he says, we maybe have 30,000 at the most sitting into that fund, and he really didn't want us to take any money out of that right now, knowing, not knowing exactly what's in that fund. So I tend to agree that I think it's good to take it out of the general fund now, and for some reason, there is a lot more money out there. We could work around that later.
What is exactly is general assessment? I don't want.
Well, the jail assessment is money that comes in from percentage of fines, and I don't remember what all. Yeah, and so there's a percent that goes into that jail assessment, and that money can only be used for certain things, and yes.
May I ask Mary a question? Do you know of expenditures that have been made out of that $130,000? I guess Paul maybe would know if he were here, but, you know, you have the figure 130, but do you know how accurate either one of the figures are at this point?
The 134 was budgeted, and once the audit is done for 24, then that's when the numbers come over, I was told.
Okay, so you don't know any expenditures necessarily that have come out of that?
When I looked it up, I didn't see anything had been spent yet this year, from what I could tell.
But it was monies from last year. So he said that there was like $110,000 would be less sitting in that fund.
I hope this new accounting system, I don't know if, Rebecca, do you know, that would show that, wouldn't it, the new system?
It will, it'll be in real time.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, make Mary's job a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think, I was kind of caught off guard with this because I was thinking that when you just build a new jail, and there are some things that are gonna happen, you're gonna have inmates do this, and I talked to Rich about it, that they would set up a fund for this money that comes in from daily rental or of the beds. If they could set up some kind of program where that would a lot of it would go into their maintenance, because you're gonna have maintenance, and when you got people using equipment, using TVs, using bathrooms, you're gonna have maintenance. And Brett said that wouldn't work, he said, for some reason, and I don't know, Rich, I
Well,
don't know if you,
some of that jail assessment money can be used for that.
that would be good. I mean, I
No.
think that's a great way
Yeah.
to, because then it's supporting itself, and we're not putting a burden on taxpayers.
Right. And he agrees with that. But right now, the unknown that it's maybe 30,000 at the most sitting in there, he didn't really want to take the $9,500 out of there.
Yeah, well, you can see how the first year goes, and then maybe look at it then.
Well, and I think, as Rebecca's saying, that there'll be real-time
Yeah, and that'll be
information
nice.
that'll
Yeah.
be really helpful in the future.
May I make a comment? It just seems that following the usual process of asking for money and then money going back into the general fund has been using the general fund. So I guess I don't see anything wrong with going that route. It's
Well-
clean, it's, there's a good flow of the money. There's less bookkeeping. If you were to go into what you suggested, into having a separate fund for this money, I think there's going to be more bookkeeping. So,
It
I
might
don't know,
be,
my
but it-
opinion is
But it would
that-
be self-sufficient, and that's what I'm thinking, you know, we wouldn't, everybody's got to, there's no wrong or right, it's just whatever we think, so that was just an idea I
Sure,
threw, I
yep.
wanted to throw out there.
Yep, I understand.
Yeah, so, any other discussion? If not, this will be a roll vote. Renee?
Yes, I vote yes.
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Addie, yes, so motion carries. Okay, next is discussions, county property. Susan is busier than a one-legged man at a ant-killing contest, you know. So she's working on it, and everybody's working on it together. So when they do bring something, we have something that's solid and acceptable. They don't want to just bring bits and parts here. So she's still working on it with Neil, and she's getting better, getting farther along. I don't know if you know anything about it, Rebecca, but
I guess I'm not, can I just clarify, what do you mean by the county property?
county properties is, brought to the attention of the highway department that the county's got properties along the highways that aren't, they just sit there and nobody pays tax on them. We don't use them.
Oh, those,
Somehow
okay.
selling them back to the taxpayers or auctioning them off. That's what Susan kind of thinks is gonna work the best. We just put them up for auction, kind of like we do for the delinquent tax people, you know? And this way, she's looking into exactly how the state accepts, once you got property, how you get rid of it again. Can you sell it? Do you have to put it in an auction? And it all varies on how the property was acquired. And then we also have county property that is not county property, that we have to give back to the townships, that when they were taken to the, after they put a bridge in or something, all the paperwork went through us, and the state recognized it as our property, but it wasn't as township. So it's more or less just straightening that out and getting that, so she's working towards getting back some of that property to the people so we can get on a tax roll, so. That's what this one's about.
Yeah, we have a scheduled meeting that we haven't gotten to yet. but
Yeah,
it-
she's so
yeah.
busy with this, that opiate and all this other things going on, so. All right. Anybody have any questions on that? If not, we'll go to number 12. Next meeting is, wait, I'm gonna close the public comment period. Should close it before we end the meeting. But we'll close the comment period right now at exactly 8:22. And the next meeting for this committee is August 11th at 8 o'clock. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody okay? All right. Anybody else have anything else for next month's agenda right now? If not, contact me or Mary and we can put it on if something comes up.
Do we want Kurt, is Kurt gonna come back every time? Yep. You will, okay. Yep. If you have any, I'll be here. No, we like to have an update.
Hey, when we pay him, he should live here almost. All right. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting adjourned at 8:22. Thank you all for coming, appreciate it.